I killed my good friend with this hand. Good friend? Who is he talking about? At the sudden confession, Itachi's thoughts stopped completely. It was a little before I met you, Shisui continued, his voice flat, as if leaving his friend behind. Itachi couldn't see the look on his face. I met a boy at the academy I could call a friend. He fought alongside me after I became a Genin too, on the same team. Back then, he was my best friend. We really trusted each other. But Shisui fell silent for a moment. That didn't last for even a year. The shocking confession continued further. That was right after the war ended. Missions were way harsher than they are now. We were in the middle of a mission with a few other teams to clean up after the war, and we ended up by ourselves in another land. Our luck was bad. We ran into more enemies than we could handle. We were staring right at death. This tale was from before Itachi became a ninja. Fortunately, some of the comrades we got separated from found us. They saved me, but my friend was slow to run. If I had just reached out to him, he wouldn't have had to die. From what Chisui was saying, he had been quite close by when his friend was killed. The difference between life and death was determined by a slight difference in luck. And that bit of luck had divided the two boys. It definitely hadn't been his fault, but Shisui regretted his friend's death as if it were a crime he had committed. It wasn't your fault. No, Shisui said, as if to cut off Itachi. I envied that friend. He was blessed with more talent than me. I was jealous of him, always running out in front of me. So that time I could have reached out my hand. I deliberately didn't. I killed him. Itachi had never realized darkness like this slept in Shisui's heart. He was his best friend. What had he been seeing up to that point? He felt dizzy. For several months, I was completely destroyed by the fact that I'd killed him. It was then when I met you. Itachi remembered it clearly. He had been training alone in preparation for his entry into the academy when Shisui had suddenly appeared. It had been Shisui who asked if they could be friends. I watched you, so intently motivated in your training every day. And I just called out to you without thinking. You were always so forward-looking, always running ahead, and spending time with you helped me pick myself up again, bit by bit. I'm really grateful to you. I'm the one who's grateful. Of course, those words did not come out. My friend's death gave me a new power. That was the Mangekyo Sharingan. For the nth time, the unexpected blow made Itachi dizzy. Paying no heed to his reeling, Shisui continued. The Mangekyo Sharingan are called up by power that comes from a fierce emotional blow. Mine were probably awakened by my regret over killing my friend. Regret over killing your friend. Right. Itachi had a bad feeling. Kill me, Itachi. Then you'll get the Mangekyo Sharingan. And then you'll get even stronger. I'm dead either way. So then, it's better if I die after leaving you that power. Itachi felt something hot in his eyes. In his jumbled mind, he couldn't calmly assess whether it was tears or the rush of energy presaging the activation of some new power. All right, do it, Itachi. The words of an older brother to push his little brother forward. Almost staggering, Itachi took a step forward. That's it. Something lukewarm, like blood, dampened Itachi's cheeks. Tears, stifling his sobs so that Shisui wouldn't notice. He continued to move forward. With your abilities, something like this clan can't contain you. I mean, knowing you, you will even be able to surpass the destiny of the clan. No, Shisui, I think your abilities could even swallow up the ninja worldview. My abilities? Only once he heard his voice did Itachi understand that it was trembling. It was the first time he had heard himself weak like this. I'm glad I met you. Itachi reached trembling arms out toward the back of his best friend. I'm counting on you to handle the rest. Those were his friend's last words. Darkness. A pitch-black night without moon or stars. The ebony clouds blanketing the heavens threatened to weep at any moment. I killed my friend. His hands on the ground where Shisui had stood. Itachi was slumped over, motionless. His exhausted body was heavy as lead. His tattered, wounded heart refused to pick up the thread of his thoughts. Tears fell one after the other from his eyes, and even the dry feeling in his soul could not stop them. Everything was numb. No. Somewhere in his body, now one was the darkness. Something smoldered. On dead earth, covered in a layer of ice, small sparks crackled and burned. As if seeking out that faint warmth, Itachi dove into his own heart. There, two sparks, one in each eye. In his wounded, exhausted heart, he held them. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the sparks became massive flames and enveloped his entire body. His eyes, the core of the blaze, were hot like magma. I did get it, Jocelyne. A brilliant crimson light shone in his still weeping eyes. I promise you, I will stop the clan. Itachi let the voice of his heart ride on the darkness with a prayer that it would reach the land of the dead.